Hello everybody, this is Valencia and welcome to my channel Balloons and Business, where I show you the business of balloon and event decor. So today I'm going to show you how I made this a little pumpkin, it's on its way setup. I'm going to show you how I made the balloon garland as well as the floral arrangement. I am also going to show you how I make the balloon garland two ways using the necktie and the rubber band 260Q method. So if you want to see how I made this, just stay tuned. So I got the Chiara wall arch frame and cover from efavormart.com. I'll leave the link in the description box below the video. Very easy and simple to install, and it fits the frame like a glove. So I'm going to be trying these Party Woo balloons from Amazon. This is not an endorsement. I just wanted to try them out because I do follow a page on Facebook for balloon designers, and a lot of these people are swearing by these balloons, saying they're just as good as Tuftex and Sempertex and Qualitex. I guess they're just trying to justify why they only charge $200 for their balloon installs. But I noticed from these balloons that all of the sizes come in one pack, so you have to sort through the sizes. And also they only have 5 18-inch balloons, which is no good for me because I like my larger balloons. It's the easiest way to make your balloon garlands fuller. It had a lot of 10-inch balloons in these packs, so it takes more of these balloons to fill up your balloon garland, which is no good for me. The colors are blush, tan, and a dusty blue, which you see right there. It looks more like a periwinkle, but it is a pretty color nonetheless. So I had to ration my 12-inch balloons because remember, they had both 10 and 12-inch, and they only had about 24 to 30 of the 12-inch balloons per pack. So I blew those up first, tied them into dupes, and twisted them into clusters of 6 dupes or 12 balloons. Okay, so I started off with clusters of 12 12-inch balloons. So I'm just showing you again how I made my clusters. And again, each cluster had 12 12-inch balloons. So I'm going to show you two ways in which I attach my clusters. So I'm going to take a 260Q balloon like I'm showing you right now, tie it together into like a rubber band. Okay. And I'm going to wrap that 260Q around a couple of balloons in one cluster. You want to get around at least a couple. Twist it, and then I'm going to take another cluster, put it on top, and wrap that 260Q balloon around 3 to 4 balloons in that cluster. And you want to wrap as many balloons as possible into the 260Q because you want it connecting at 3 to 4 different points. You don't want to just wrap it around one balloon because that's not going to be tight enough to really attach those clusters to each other. So that's how I'm attaching my clusters one way. And then I'm going to do the good old necktie method. I'm going to take one neck from one balloon in one cluster, one neck from another balloon in another cluster, and then I'm just going to tie them together. Now for me, I think this is the best way to get your balloon garland base nice and tight because you're just attaching the balloons to each other. But it can be difficult because you need those necks to be nice and long and stretchy. If you have certain balloons where the necks are too tight, this can be very difficult to do. Also, if you don't leave enough slack when you initially tie the balloons together into dupes, it can be hard to do. This is why I'm showing you two methods. So the 260Q method or rubber band method, I just call it that because I prefer to use 260Qs over rubber bands, or the necktie method. Now this is the balloon garland base here. It's about 11 feet long. So now I'm going to take a safety pin and I'm going to slip a 260Q balloon through it, tie it around the safety pin, and then knot that 260Q to make a rubber band just like I did for the balloon garland. And then I'm going to attach that safety pin to my backdrop. So I attached 4 safety pins to this Chiara wall. The bottom 2 safety pins I attached towards the front of the wall because I wanted the balloon garland to look like it was framing the front of the wall at the bottom. But as I started going towards the top, I started attaching the safety pins to the back. So that safety pin is attached to the back of the wall. I'm going to wrap it around the balloon that's closest to the safety pin so I'm not pulling on that Chiara wall frame cover. And then at the very top, I'm going to attach the balloon garland to the back of the wall and just frame it around that way so that the balloon garland doesn't overwhelm the Chiara wall. So I'm filling out my balloon garland using the remainder of the 12-inch balloons and my 18-inch balloons. Now remember, I have to use these 18-inch balloons sparingly because I only had 5 per color. So I'm making small clusters of 12-inch balloons and one 18-inch, or a dupe of a 12-inch and an 18-inch balloon. I'm attaching them together with a 260Q, and then I'm just going to wrap that 260Q around a balloon in the balloon garland to make my clusters fuller. So you see I'm doing that with the blush cluster. I'm also twisting in dupes, and I'm only using one 18-inch balloon per dupe or cluster because I have to make sure it stretches throughout the balloon garland. Now, as I'm filling in this balloon garland, I start running out of the 12-inch balloons. So I have to start using the 10-inch balloons, which is not good because that means I have to use more material and it takes longer to fill out the balloon garland. This is why I do not like these Amazon packets, because they don't have enough variety of sizes in each color. It's like you have to buy 2 packs per color in order to get the appropriate enough amount of sizes to really fill in this balloon garland. Now these packs cost anywhere between $11 to $14 per color, depending on the color that you buy. So when you add up the cost, you may be paying about just as much as you would for the quality balloons such as Tuftex, Qualitex, and Sempertex. So are you really getting a value here? Now this day it was 72 degrees, so it wasn't that hot. And of course I use these balloons indoors. I'm not sure if I would trust to use these balloons outdoors. So again, that's another issue that I have with Amazon balloons. Now I decided to use some Sempertex gold chrome balloons because I do not like the Party Woo chrome balloons. They are way too yellow. These are more gold. So these are 11-inch gold chrome balloons. I'm adding them in clusters of 4 balloons. Now it's time to add my 5-inch clusters. So I'm making clusters of 4 balloons. And then I'm just going to attach them together with a 260Q balloon, 1 cluster on each side. And then I'm just going to wrap it around 1 balloon in the balloon garland to attach them. Now I like adding my 5-inch clusters to add more complexity. And also in this case, I use my 5-inch clusters to close in gaps. So because I had to use so many 10-inch balloons, I had a lot of gaps in my balloon garland. So I use those 5-inch clusters to really close in those gaps and make the balloon garland tighter. As you see, I'm connecting that tan and the blush balloons right there at the top right-hand corner. And then I decided to add another cluster of the dusty blue to add more dusty blue to the balloon garland and to close in that gap right there. I also pushed the balloon garland out at the bottom right there so that the shape will look better at the bottom and that balloon garland won't be so much in front of the Chiara wall. So now I'm going to add a floral arrangement to the top right hand corner of my backdrop. Now I got this wood board from Hobby Lobby for about $4 or $5, and then I bought that styrofoam block from the 99-cent store for $1. I hot glued it to the wood board, and then I'm going to be using these large clips to clip that wood board onto my frame. Now you want to make sure you get the frame and the wood board in that clip. So that clip I got from the 99-cent store. It came in a 2-pack for $1. And I will get the sizes of that and leave that in the link in the description box below. Now I'm adding in some dried palm leaves to the perimeter of this arrangement because I want to cover up that wood board. And you want to add in your dried palm leaves first if you're doing an arrangement that require these, because this is going to be the starting point for your arrangement. And I got these palm leaves as well as all my florals from Hobby Lobby. They have a sale every other week, 50% off. Actually, it's 40% off. And these are really nice looking silk florals. They're more realistic than the ones you get at the Dollar Tree. So I'm cutting my roses and I'm cutting them to different lengths. So the shorter ones I'm cutting to about 3 inches, and I'm using those at the center of the arrangement to fill in and cover up that styrofoam block. As I go towards the outer part of the arrangement, I'm going to start using longer stems at about 6 inches, and I'm going to put them in at an angle. So right here, this peach rose, you see I'm putting it in at an angle, and I'm putting it in at the perimeter because I don't want all of my roses to be the same length. I want to add some complexity to the arrangement. So as the roses are going inward, they're getting shorter and they're going in closer to the center. As they're going outward towards the perimeter, I'm putting them in at an angle and they're getting longer. Now I'm adding in some pampas grass and I'm adding them in at the opposite ends of the arrangement to add balance. I only had a few pieces with me, so that's all I added, but normally I would actually add in more pampas grass. Now I'm adding these little pumpkins because this is a little pumpkin, it's on its way themed arrangement, and these are made out of fabric and they're really cute, and I'm adding them in on the opposite ends of the pampas grass to add balance to the arrangement. So to make room for my neon oh baby sign, I actually changed the positioning of the pampas grass so that it doesn't cover up the sign on the wall. And here is the finished product. So my overall assessment of the Party Woo balloons is while the colors came out nice and none of the balloons popped, I didn't get enough variety of sizes. So I had a lot more gaps in my balloon garland than I liked, and it made the install a little bit more difficult to make fuller. Overall, I wouldn't be against someone using these balloons if they were using it for an indoor install and they were in a pinch for time and money. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments section your opinion of these balloons if you've used them before. And if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, go ahead on and like it and please subscribe and you'll get notifications on future videos on balloon and event decor. And until next time, I will see you guys later.